And 3, 2, 1, boom. And we were back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is a movie review. We actually checked out Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hold on, just give us a second as we set this up. A little technical difficulty. All right, here we go. And we are back. A little technical difficulty on that start. It's all good.
You hit the button at the wrong time.
Hit the button wrong. So we checked out Spider-Man. Just came out.
Yeah.
And like all of our movie reviews, we're going to score it, talk about it, score it again to see if we swayed each other's opinion to either go higher or lower. But I'm going to go right off the bat and say this was amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so what was your score, Vish?
I had about like 8.5.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good for you.
It was like 8.5, I'm thinking. Yeah.
I will give this... Ooh.
At first?
At first? What do you mean?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. I'm going to go with 8.5 as well.
Okay.
That seemed like a good score. I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's not a 10 for me, but it was definitely up there. It was really good. 8.5.
Yeah.
Maybe 9. We'll see at the end. But anyway, so what'd you like about the movie? Super caveat, these are huge spoilers.
Oh, yeah, right.
All right.
Always.
Always.
I liked how it started. I was like, oh, okay. And
then
then
the comedy?
Oh, no, like just the way Mysterio was the first thing that they showed, then...
Oh, yeah. Your brother said that was like, that was the ending scene. That was like the spoiler scene for the re-release. Not spoiler scene. It was like the...
like the end credit scene?
Yeah, for the re-release.
Oh, I see. So they had to... That's why they added it in here.
Yeah, I didn't really... I felt... When he said that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because it felt like a little off. I was like, oh, that's like a random way to start the movie.
It did, but I felt like it was kind of cool too, because when the music went on, it was like totally different from the...
True.
So it kind of worked out.
That's true. Yeah, and then it was like a Tony Stark and... No, it wasn't just Tony Stark. It was like everyone who died montage.
Yeah. And
that's true. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
That was pretty funny. I was like... when they got into that. The other thing they were saying, what did they... so then that video was part of the school's news bulletin thing.
Yeah.
So they went by kind of quick. So like when the kids that came back...
They were 5 years older.
They were 5 years older.
Yeah.
The ones that came back.
Yes.
Or the ones that were there.
I guess...
I got confused in that one.
The people that came back... True, actually, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
Was it the people that came back, or was it the people that...
No, it must have been the people that came back.
So then wouldn't...
Did she disappear? No.
That's what I'm wondering, because Peter Parker was the one who left. So shouldn't he be
5 years older? That's true. I don't know.
So I wasn't sure which way that went. Like,
or maybe... yeah, true. Okay. Good call. Actually, I don't even know either. Maybe MJ did disappear too.
Because they're all still in the same grade, right? Like, the kid that grew was not.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That was a bit confusing. You're right. I'll give you that one.
I needed to see it again to know what was exactly said.
You know what this movie reminded me of? It reminded me of Iron Man 3, where what's his name? The Mandarin.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And like,
that did remind me of that, yes.
And you thought it was like this crazy, insane person thing, and then it turned out to be an illusion.
Right.
You know, I really liked Iron Man 3 for that. It was like they were using media to like to like portray a stronger villain than there actually was. Mm-hmm. And then when Iron Man actually found him, it was like, oh, you're actually a fraud. You're like an actor.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like this one. It was like, it was similar, but more like...
Similar, but it was a bit like these characters made sense why they were doing what they were doing.
But it was so funny because I was like, why is this Mysterio guy so corny right now? He was like being Parker's friend so hard. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, why are they going to be like best buddies? And then when it turned out it was an illusion, I was like, oh, that makes sense as to why they're best buddies.
Yeah. Like,
he was like hamming it up.
Right. Yeah,
but I did not expect that. I was like,
yeah,
I thought he was a good guy.
So that's another thing. So I liked that some the things I did not expect. So I didn't expect that Switch But I was like wondering what would happen now that they already killed this lava thing. I was like,
Now what?
Where
Yeah,
was,
me too. Me
where was
too.
it
I was
going
like, that was
next?
kind
So,
of
but
fast.
the only thing I would think of was like
They're gonna come back.
Mysterio has got to be bad or something like.
Oh, okay.
I was
okay.
thinking like, are they making Mysterio bad? Like, was something else going on?
Oh, I thought that too. Like when he gave him, I thought it was gonna be like when he gave him the glasses, it was gonna corrupt him mentally, and he was gonna be like,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
overtaken by the
That's what I
glasses,
thought. Yeah, that
you know?
too much power kind of thing.
But then it turned, yeah,
But it was
exactly.
like-
And it was like, oh no, that was his plan the whole time. It was,
It
like,
was-
oh,
yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
good bait and switch.
Yes.
I never expected that. I was like, oh, that was cool.
So that one, that was a really cool twist right there that I liked. So the other thing, so yeah, the humor was good. You know, I mean, kind of neat.
Yeah, it was very funny. I liked it.
Uh,
I really liked the love story between Peter Parker and MJ. You felt it was real.
right.
You know what I mean? Like these two like awkward kids.
But her quips were really good,
Oh yeah, totally.
right?
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like these characters were written so well. Even him, like, oh yeah, I laughed so hard when she's like, take off your clothes right now, for, like to change like into the suit.
Yeah.
And then the dude walked in. I was like, wow, this looks really bad. Like you felt it. It was like, oh, that is suggestive, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the adult humors in
For sure. Kids probably didn't get that. They're like, he got caught with his pants down. I was like, no, that's not what they were going for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really like that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. I like the questions that came in were that Peter had to deal with, which it was very interesting because the Avengers are gone.
Right.
Who becomes the next Avengers?
Right. That was pretty cool, yeah.
And that aspect that he wasn't sure if he's not ready. He thought he's not ready to be in this kind of thing. I'm just still a kid, right?
Right.
So I like that was kind of portrayed in there because it's gonna be hard to find someone to exactly fit all of these roles.
For sure.
'Cause he's
Agreed.
still a young kid, right?
Right.
But that's what Mysterio used in his.
Manipulation.
Manipulation,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That's true.
But
yeah.
in that manipulation, that's where the shift for Peter happens too, right? Like he realized.
Right, he had to accept his destiny.
Yeah.
I really liked how they used drones for that because it was very believable. It was like it was just like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, where it was like, oh yeah, I could see how he'd be an actor, and in this one it was like, oh yeah, I could see how you'd use those drones as like holograms.
Yeah.
Like they made it really. And then when he went into the world of the Mysterio, and then he got hit by the train. That one scene, that was so good. Like the way they like animated that, I was like, this is sick.
The illusions that they were putting Peter through once he was facing Mysterio.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see.
Yeah. Very good like art direction from the creative director.
Yeah. But I was like, I guess he didn't really have the Spidey tingle.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Like that was, I don't know. Did they explain why he didn't have that?
No, they didn't really explain it. But I guess
Yeah.
maybe he had to trust it more. Because remember, he's like, no, I have this thing that I can rely on.
Right. Yeah. But like it was already not really working well. Even like that was in
Right.
implication with the Aunt May throwing the banana thing, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, true.
That was already telling us that there was something wrong with it.
True. I didn't even catch that. You're right. I like how in the first movie it was about him discovering his powers, and in the second movie it was about him accepting who he is as a superhero.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at like 1 and 2, like so much happened in between 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah. That's
that's
right.
But like so much character growth. But then if you just look at like movie 1, then movie 2, you'd be like, wow, this character, like the arc is such a deep arc at this point. You know.
So that's what I like. Like they've really made it like comics. Like a lot of times when you read these Spider-Man comics or any comics, right, they're related to other comics. You ever remember noticing that?
True.
So now it's like you got to know those other movies in order to understand what's going on.
Because if you
And
just watch
you
Spider-Man
can't watch.
1,
Yeah, you just can't watch Homecoming and then watch Far Away. Was it
Far From Home.
Far From Home. You wouldn't understand what he's going through.
Right. You'd be like, why is he so sad?
Yeah.
And like, how come he can all of a sudden use like Tony Stark stuff. Why is he the Tony Stark of the thing? It's
Right.
like it's leaving so many holes
Yes.
unless you watch the other ones. Yeah, you're kind of pulled into this MCU kind of thing going
Yeah,
on.
and I think that's great money bucks for Marvel, and that's
For sure.
for people who like these comics. It's great entertainment.
What I like is each Marvel, like, even though it's one studio, there's like different tones per character.
Yeah.
You know, they really did make it like a comic, because it's like, okay, if I watch this dude's movie, I'm gonna get this kind of like humor and this kind of like pacing. Oh, sad. I'm gonna get this kind of pacing, right?
Yeah.
But like, if you watch like Captain America, it's not gonna be the same as Spider-Man.
No.
And I really like that about like the Marvel movies, how they like each movie has its own different style, and
Yeah,
they made it
yeah.
very comic book like in that manner, because you can pick up like a Spider-Man comic and you can pick up like a Iron Man comic, and they're totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
But I can see now how they're. So the way that it ended, that's why I'm gonna increase. That's what increased my score. Like it was 8.5.
Oh my god, yeah, that was such a
So
great ending.
right after the first credit part, when I was not expecting the name drop to happen.
When he
Revealed
said
who
his
he
name.
is.
Oh, dude.
So that reminded me of Iron Man in the first one when he revealed who he was.
Oh, true.
So now everyone knows Peter Parker. What happens next?
But then
How does this?
but that was crazy with like Mysterio being like, "Oh, Peter Parker did this, blah blah blah." It's like it's gonna change his entire life.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like how in the comic book, what was that comic book? The Marvel, Civil War.
Yeah.
Peter Parker admitted to everyone who he was,
Yes.
right? But they didn't do that in this one, so I was like, okay, whatever. But then in this one, Mysterio does it. But he does it in a way that's like, it's such trickery.
Yeah. Now I'm more excited to see where it goes next. So that increased my score from 8.5 because of this shock.
And also the peripheral like villains at that point, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he didn't just have, remember like he was saying like, oh, you helped me with this and you helped me with this, but I like how like when they said that, they brought back the scenes.
Yeah.
of when
Right.
I was like, oh, that was pro.
Well, some of them that had the scenes.
So yeah. But then what was crazier was like, it's like makes you think like, who are these supervillains now that are gonna face against Spider-Man?
Right.
You know, because like it seemed like a band of people.
Yes.
You know, so they might just end up doing that.
But there's going to be more.
Do you think they're gonna have Venom?
I don't know, because
I feel like if they introduce Venom, it's gonna get really corny. Like, how are you gonna make?
No,
Tom
I
Holland?
don't know. I mean, I never expected them to get Mysterio. I don't even really know Mysterio's story.
I remember him from the '90s comics. He's an illusion guy.
He's just hard to make. I don't know. I just never. There was a lot of people that never expected to see Mysterio ever happen.
And Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was epic.
It was really good.
Oh
yeah.
man, like how he was like all serious as a superhero, and you're like, oh okay, cool, like yeah, he's that guy. And then all of a sudden it switches, and it's like, oh, he's actually not like that guy. He's like this silly goofball trickster. You know,
Right.
He's like a Loki character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But he did win at the end, though. That's the thing, right? Like the shift in the story. What are they to show that Spider-Man was the bad guy, but not the.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So now, it's normally, now I just want to know what's going to happen next. Now, right now.
Right. Yeah.
Like
for
where
sure.
did
Now
this
you
go?
do want to see
Like,
the third one.
Yes. Yeah. And like other thing was that happened at the even further end was the scrolls that were just.
Oh yeah, I thought that was so cool. How like Nick Fury there.
Yeah.
Like he was like on his own mission. They alluded to his own mission, but then like it was like because you're like oh, I was thinking this. I was like, oh, Nick Fury lost his touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's usually like the badass in this, but then like he got kind of like weak.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like when they're like, oh, he's actually a Skrull, I'm like, that makes more sense.
Yes.
I like how they alluded to all this stuff the whole time.
Everything was there if you really paid attention. Yes, that's
Yeah.
very true.
You're like, oh, this is not very Nick Fury-ish. You
No,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
What else we got in there? Like
I didn't feel the time.
I didn't feel the time.
Yeah.
How long was it, anyways? The runtime.
2.5 hours.
Really?
I don't know, something like that. I'm assuming.
I don't know if it was 2.5 hours, but I did
thought
not
it was
feel
like
the time.
3:45.
Yeah, I did not feel the time either.
So maybe 2 hours. Something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't feel the time. It was. I'm hung up
And the
on like.
on the other aspect, sorry, I had to bring it up because end of Homecoming is when Aunt May finds out that he's Spider-Man.
True.
Then that was another thing that I forgot about, and to see the interaction of how Aunt May would act
Right.
now that
right,
she
right.
knows who he is.
Right. It's interesting in this one now. Everyone that Peter really cares about knows who he really is.
Yeah.
Just as like shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I really liked how the I'm like still hung up on the love story between the two of them because it was so realistic. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is believable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like a oh corny or like oh they didn't like do
Right.
one of those things where it's like oh she actually liked the Asian dude but then she like
Or
she liked
cause more
Peter
of
the
a
whole time, you know,
or cause more
drama.
of the more of a drama where he's like, oh, he was too late kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that never
There's
happened.
no
So she
drama.
never had any real interest in that.
Asian dude, yeah,
and that guy.
She liked him the whole time.
Yeah.
But like it was a very pure love story, but also like very genuine. Like when he beat Mysterio and then she ran out and then she gave him a hug, I was like, wow, I felt that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then like tears running out. I was like, this is a really good like acting portrayal right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like like somebody would do that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of character would like definitely go like run and try and find Spider-Man. But like Peter Parker and Mary Jane always had that kind of like love between them. You know.
Yeah.
But I just never thought it would work so well. You know.
Yeah, I think that they've done
Especially because they're kids, so it's or they're playing kids, so it's like I was like like maybe it'll be like some like juvenile stuff, but when you watch it, you're like, no, this is very believable. Like,
Right.
Very like, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like his friend when his friend got together with that person on the plane and they're like, oh, we broke up. I was like, yeah, that seems more like.
But that was
group.
Right, but that was not the center point. That was just to add more comedy to the movie. That nothing really happened between these characters now that once they've come back to New York, right? Like it's
totally.
It was just for like
just for that one thing. Yeah, totally. To fill the void of
right.
something.
Yeah, and nothing. It doesn't continue on into the next movie or anything like that. So.
Right.
So that was, that was an interesting aspect. Like, that's the other thing too. Having Nick Fury in there also was he's never met him, right?
True. I didn't. Yeah. Right.
And that interaction was like that was the whole thing of not wanting to take any kind of I don't want to take responsibility here. I want to.
Totally. It showed his like kid side.
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's why it was like a coming of age story. It was like, in this one, he like really had to accept who he is as the next Tony Stark. But what I really liked was like, he's the cooler Tony Stark, you know?
Right.
Like when he was like putting stuff together, and then like Happy was like.
So that was right.
Cool.
That's a good point bringing up because that's what that's what Happy saw. He saw he saw a bit of Tony Stark in him, and that.
And then he's like, I got the music, and then they played the first song in the first movie.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there was something to it. I knew there was something to that song.
That song was the opening.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like they have set Spider-Man up to be the Avenger lead,
which is so sick.
Which
Tom Holland's gonna make millions, billions.
Well, then now we have to also see what Sony has given. Sony will make a lot more money now too.
True.
Because they still own the rights to Spider-Man.
I really like Tom Holland as a Spider-Man. He's my favorite Spider-Man so far.
Yeah, he everything about him
because like think about who. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, think about who they have as Spider-Man. Like Tobey Maguire. Meh. When that first one came out, I was so stoked. But then I was like, what's the name? Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
I was like, he was cool.
The Amazing Spider-Man one, right? Yeah. But that was. Yeah, there's just so many reboots to Spider-Man that I think this is the best.
This is the best one.
Yeah.
Because he's very youthful and like. He's like very innocent and youthful, and like he's got this power that like he doesn't really know what to do with. You know,
he fits the character really well. The ones that we need
politeness.
From comics.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I like his like stature too. Like, he's not very tall.
Yeah,
he's not like he doesn't look like an adult in high school because he's supposed to be in high school.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. That's why he fits it very well. I think Marvel whoever did the casting did a really, really well. Good job.
I'd have to say. All right. So who's your favorite? I was gonna say like I think Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel. Well, Iron Man was, and now it's Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, he takes the next mantle, right? Who for me?
But I mean, if I look back at like Iron Man, well, no, Iron Man was sick because like I really like the genius of Tony Stark and like the creation. It felt like anybody could be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But like the lighthearted, Ant-Man's really good too, though. Ant-Man's up there. So like Spider-Man and Ant-Man for me are like they're kind of neck and neck. But everyone else, I'm like, what else? Like, does another Marvel thing beat it for you?
Right now?
Yeah, like what's your favorite Marvel?
I don't know. I never really.
Because there's Thor, you know. There's like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
But I mean, I like everything that the Marvel universe, this film is doing right now. Like, I seem to like it really. There was
a trash one, wasn't there?
There were
We
trash
like,
movies
I don't wanna
that
watch
were
this.
in the beginning as the franchise was growing, right?
True, but now.
True,
because
come to
now
a
it's like
point-
different flavors. It's like if you're bored, if you're too serious, we'll give you like a happy one like Spider-Man. But then if it's like too happy, now we're gonna give you a serious one, which is like, the Falcon and, Iron Man's two friends. Remember, the Falcon and.
Oh yes.
Oh, big thing we didn't mention. The bait and switch on this one. We thought there was multiverses.
Right. Yeah. So that was very
sick. And
interesting.
he's
that
you came up with the most absurd like story, and they bought it
they bought it
because it was so
Oh,
absurd.
that was what I liked. What he was saying right now, because of what has happened, you can say whatever and they'll believe it. What was he?
Right.
That I think that was very much the implication to what has happened today with the internet.
Yes, there was so
That
totally,
what he
totally.
said exactly fits today's time.
Yeah, a lot of what Mysterio was presented. So there's like levels to it, right?
Yeah.
Like the coming of age story, and like, or if you just look at it on the superficial level, this is just like a nice, like adventure movie. But like if you actually look at the subtleties, there's a lot of like contemporary talks in this one, like a lot of talks about our current society.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Mysterio plays the internet. Mysterio plays marketing.
Yeah.
And I really like that. It's like, how do you? And he kept alluding to. He's like, they'll believe whatever I want them to believe.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like, he's like, turn off the, what do you call that? The holograms.
The holograms, yeah.
And then he's like, are you sure? And he's like, they'll believe whatever I want them to believe.
Mm.
And then like how he's like, make sure you have my cape ready because I could literally be shaking hands with the queen in the next hour. And it's like, yeah, because you orchestrated this entire like delusion that we're gonna buy into.
Yeah, exactly.
It
was that was so that.
And I really liked the juxtaposition of Mary Jane's character, how she's like, I like saying the truth even though it hurts, and I was like, damn, that's like me, bro. Like we're on the same page on this one. You know what I mean? Like you had like Mary Jane's character, which is like so severely honest, and then you have like Mysterio's character, which is like I'm painting in lies.
Right.
But I do both though, so it's like kind of weird. But yeah. Yeah, it's probably why I really like the movie, because I saw like the levels to it. I'm like, oh, this is what you're trying to really say in this movie.
I mean, even what she was saying too is like, do you believe everything that you hear on the internet, something like that? Like
there you go again.
scene.
Yeah.
So there are all these things over and
yeah, it was all about
over
truth.
and again.
It's all about reality. That's
Yeah.
what the whole movie was about. It's like, what do you believe as fiction and nonfiction?
Yeah.
True.
That was what was said from throughout. These are the little hints that they give you.
That's what the Mysterio movie's about.
That's what the Mysterio. Yeah.
And she was like the one trying to not harp on it, but
And
like,
even within the name too, right? Of Mysterio.
Even when Mysterio first got named, the guy's like, oh, they're calling him Mysterio, and she's like, no, Mysterio means man of mystery. They don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's
So
like
these little
hints. It's like
yes,
it's
yes.
like, look how you took this one thing and you exploded it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like ancient texts too, right? It's
Yeah.
like oh, these like enlightenment states, and then like you find out it's like it's not what you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she was saying too. It's like, no, Mysterio means man of mystery, but you took it to a whole thing called, like, saying that this person's being called Mysterio because it's a lack of knowledge and education.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of funny because I have this exact talk with my sister, like about, like we were like talking about what enlightenment is, and I was like, well, it's like it depends on what enlightenment you mean, and she's like, what do you mean about that? I'm like, you realizing something is enlightenment, so we get enlightened to things all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's probably what they meant. You know, an enlightened being just has realized a lot about life. You know, like I don't think there's this enlightened state, because it's like, well, what's the one state? Because like I always say to people when they're like, oh, like I ask them what is enlightenment, and then they'll tell me, and then I'm like, but if you already know it, so then aren't you enlightened?
Right.
Because you already know it,
Yeah.
so you know, what are you searching for? Because you have the answer.
Yeah.
You know, but then it's like, because
So this
it's
is
not
this is
really-
yeah this is what I like. This is what makes a good movie, where there are hints throughout, leading to the actual revelation of what's actually happening in
It's
the
true.
movie, and that's what makes, I feel like that's what I like about a movie, because then you can nitpick on these things and really expand upon what they're really trying to say.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
They've been telling you this the whole time,
It's true.
and that's when
That's
you
probably how they get the high level actors, because it's like, why would Jake Gyllenhaal do this?
right. Yeah.
He probably read the role and he's like, no, I get what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be a part of this.
Right.
Whereas, like, you know, like, if, like, I really don't think like, the type of actor Jake Gyllenhaal is, and, like, the roles that he plays, it's like, he wouldn't just take something for a paycheck. He probably saw what we're saying right now, and he's like, oh, I get the levels.
Right. Yeah. Like it's more of an in-depth story this way,
Right.
than a simple.
You know what's really interesting? How when we were kids, we watched all these like Disney movies that like made us think outside the box, and it's like you're actually starting to see this resurgence now with this Marvel thing, because we're deconstructing it as adults now, but it's like as children they're being programmed with these like things in their head. Like that's why I really like Spider-Man. It's like, oh, like be polite, be kind,
Right.
be courteous,
Yeah.
you know, stand up for your friends, like all these like good traits that are being passed on to children now.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like DC with their Shazam movie, and I was like, oh my god, this is trash, because you're like portraying children as like spoiled brats, and then they're gonna learn from this. Remember how much I hated that movie? Because the message, but like I really like Spider-Man, because like the message they're portraying is like be a good human being, and that's what Spider-Man,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall, I think this was great. I just want to know where this goes next, and when is the what are the next movies that will have an impact on Spider-Man's life going forward, till we get to the third one.
It'll be super exciting. So you want to rescore it?
Yeah. So with that ending, with the name drop, which I was not expecting at all, and the way I love the camera shot onto him, and
then the way they ended it.
The way they ended it.
What? So they cut it.
So I gotta get.
Wait, hold on, pause. I saw that meme where it's like, it's 2019. Like it's like a person who's shocked, and it's like when it's 2019, you still see people walking out of an MCU movie before the credits are over.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh, that's funny, bro. That's funny, because like if you had walked out before you saw this scene, oh man, bro, you missed a good one.
Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
So your score?
Ah, man, it jumps to a 9 to 9.5. Like that got me. That got me.
All right, and after this conversation, go ahead.
That got me because of, like that was I thought this is. Now he is the position for Iron Man. That's what that is. That's what that was.
True, because now everybody knows who he is. The next movie, you have to rectify your truth.
Yeah.
Or maybe you get it rectified through peripheral movies, and then the third Spider-Man movie, we don't even have to worry about this. Which would be nice. That would be nice. That would actually be nice, because, like, yeah, why wouldn't somebody just, like, why wouldn't the Avengers just stick up for him? Like, no, Mysterio is actually fooling all of you. He's drunk.
Right, but everyone knows that Spider-Man didn't do that. Everyone knows, right? Like, within the small group that he was in.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So.
I hope, because I hate it when they do that. Like, then everyone hates him now. And oh, I like how they use the same J. Jonah Jameson actor.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. And I like how they made Daily Bugle more of like a online talk show.
Yeah,
like Alex Jones style.
A little bit more like that.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. Very contemporary.
Yeah.
Because who reads newspapers?
Right.
So it's like the fact that they did it as like an online show is like
even,
that makes a lot of sense.
Even with the students, the kids with their the live streaming.
Oh yeah, true, yo. Yeah. True.
So that was kind of funny.
It's very contemporary. I liked it.
Yeah.
So after this talk, I'm gonna have to give it a 10. It was.
Yes, because
It's
of
not an 11.
the little hints that we got. I didn't even think about that till we talked about it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh.
Right. So
true.
that's why it's like that, and then the reveal. It's like a 9.5 for me, man.
All right, 9.5. I'm gonna give it an 11.
Okay,
We're gonna surpass 10, which gives this a final score of 10.25.
Something above, yeah.
Above 10.
Yeah.
So this is a definite must-watch.
Yes.
Do you remember Spider-Man 1? What you gave it? It'd be interesting if we gave both movies like a must-watch.
I don't remember our scores for Homecoming.
Yeah.
No.
Did we even do one for Homecoming? We must have.
I don't know. Did it come out before we did the podcast?
Maybe, I don't even know.
I
All
can't
right.
remember.
Well, if you go back and listen to it, you'll find out our score. But the two Spider-Man movies are definite must-watch.
Yeah. I think this was a good move on Sony's to give it to Marvel to make these right stories for us.
Did you like the Venom movie?
No.
Standalone Venom movie? Yeah, I didn't really either.
No, not. But it was successful, so they would probably be making more, and hopefully other ones are better.
I wonder if Venom will play a role like way down the line for Spider-Man, because I feel like that's like a final villain kind of thing. Like you can't just like make the first villain of Spider-Man be Venom. Or maybe like
I don't know, but I really.
while he was in space.
I mean, there's been a lot of Spider-Mans recently. Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about
Right.
that.
There's Venom. There's so many
Iterations of
iterations
Spider-Man,
in
yeah.
this world of Spider-Man.
True.
So, where it goes next?
Do you like Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
I like this one better though.
Of course, this is better
Yeah.
in the sense, but Into the Spider-Verse was really good. Now, I don't know where Marvel will go. What can they do? I really want to. I don't know. Like, it's got to be a good story. That's the thing. That's what really matters. Is when you have the right story. That's when you should make it.
True. All right. So, final thoughts. Definitely go watch this movie.
Yeah.
This is a good one. A lot of levels to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of levels to a lot of movies too. Actually, if you just like looking for it, like the King Arthur one that I loved, but you weren't a big fan of it.
Yeah, because it didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
There's so many connotations for me.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is a good movie.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, plus
Yeah.
I love Guy Ritchie. Minus that Aladdin movie,
Right.
but it's like he didn't even direct that one. So, anyways, yeah, Spider-Man, dope. Best Spider-Man
Yeah.
actor of all time.
Okay. Yeah.
Best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Best on-screen portrayal of Spider-Man and Mary Jane of all time.
Right.
I'm surprised there's no Felicia Hardy. You know the triangle?
Yeah.
Black hat.
Yeah. Right. Right.
That would be kind of interesting later on.
It depends on the story. I think what they're really focusing on is story right now, and if it fits, it fits. Doesn't, then it doesn't.
All right, till next time. What we got? Anything next week?
Movie wise,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, nothing next week. Lion King comes out the week after though.
16th, right?
19th?
Oh, 19th, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. You'll get something next week. So
There's gonna be a lot of movies, right? Like Quentin Tarantino, The Lion King. So
we got the Fast and Furious. So a lot of movie.
I mean, with The Lion King, and Spider-Man, this month will be Marvel's again. I mean Disney's.
Disney's again. Yeah, true. Yeah, so expect a lot of movie reviews for the summer.
Yeah.
Till next time, go watch Spider-Man.
Yes.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.